All right, let's open up a cold case file. The victim? Well, there are countless of them, companies, big and small. And the cause of death? Winning. Yeah, you heard that right. Today, we're launching an investigation into business's most celebrated goal, and we're going to expose how that relentless chase for the finish line might just be the fastest way to the morgue.
Our investigation really kicks off with this chilling quote. You know, in boardrooms, we're always talking about winning, about crushing the quarter, about finally reaching a state of stability. But what if that stability, that very moment the game is over, isn't a victory at all? What if it's, well, the end of everything? Our prime suspect here is the very idea of a finish line.
So let's go visit the scene of the crime. But it's not a boardroom. Nope. It's a moment of personal triumph. A moment that, on paper, should feel like the absolute peak of existence, but instead, it just feels strangely empty. This is where we find our first real clue. I want you to imagine an ultra-endurance cyclist. For 6 long months, their entire world just shrinks down to this single, obsessive focus. Every meal, every hour of sleep, every single ounce of energy is funneled into one thing and one thing only. And then the race itself finally comes. We're talking 1,200 kilometers of pure, unadulterated suffering, pushing through exhaustion, battling the elements, enduring a kind of pain most of us can't even begin to imagine. It is a brutal, grueling trial, all for that one single moment of glory. And then they see it, the finish line, the culmination of half a year of total sacrifice. They cross it, collapsing in this huge wave of relief and exhaustion. They did it. They won. The medal is placed around their neck. It's heavy. It's real. It is the physical proof of victory. It's the symbol that the finite game has been completely conquered. This is it. This is the peak. And then a profound, hollow void. A deep depression sets in. The entire structure of their life, which was built around this one single goal, has just evaporated. The purpose is gone. And right here, this is our first major clue. Achieving the goal actually killed the purpose for playing. This is the mystery we've got to solve. Okay, now let's take this clue from our cyclist and bring it into the forensics lab. We're going to apply the cold, hard laws of thermodynamics to the world of business, and trust me, what we find is pretty startling. So in physics, there's this concept called maximum entropy. It sounds complicated, but it basically describes a system in perfect equilibrium. It's perfectly stable, perfectly balanced, and it's completely dead. It's a state where nothing happens, nothing changes, no energy flows. It is, quite literally, the end. See, on the right, you've got that dead system, just sitting there in perfect static equilibrium. But on the left, you have a living system. Great companies, just like living organisms, are what scientists call dissipative structures. They exist far from equilibrium. And here's the key. They maintain their shape and their stability precisely because they are constantly changing. And this brings us to the most damning conclusion from our autopsy report. That desire for stability, for reaching that finish line and just holding your ground, it's a death wish. It's an attempt to achieve maximum entropy. You're not aiming for victory. You are aiming for the void. So if stability is death, how in the world does a company survive? Well, the answer isn't stability. It's something called metastability, which is the art of staying stable while you're changing. And to really get that, we need to learn a dance, the dance of Shiva. In Hindu mythology, the deity Shiva Nataraja performs this cosmic dance that balances 2 totally opposing forces. In one hand, he's holding a drum, and that symbolizes creation, innovation, all things new. But in the other hand, he holds a fire, symbolizing destruction, letting go, shedding the old. To be metastable, you absolutely need both. But right here, this is where we uncovered the motive behind so many corporate deaths. Leaders absolutely love the drum. I mean, who doesn't love launching new products, hiring new teams, talking about innovation? But they are terrified of the fire. Killing a legacy product, closing a division, just admitting something isn't working, that's hard. It feels like losing. This fear, this total imbalance in the dance, leads us directly to our next crime scene, the corporate zombie trap. This is what happens when a company only knows how to create, but has completely forgotten how to destroy. The recipe for disaster is dangerously simple. You just keep beating that drum, adding more and more and more. More products, more features, more bureaucracy. But you refuse to light the fire. you don't get rid of anything. And the result? A bloated, slow, zombie organization, haunted by all these legacy projects that just suck up resources and energy. This all leads to an unavoidable truth, a law of the universe that applies to everything from forests to markets. New growth is only possible where the old has been cleared away. If you refuse to destroy your own outdated ideas, the market will, eventually, do it for you, and it will take you down with them. So, we've reviewed the evidence, we've established a clear motive, and we've seen the consequences. It's time for the verdict. The obsession with winning is a trap. The only way out is to completely change the game you're playing. Look, this isn't about some new strategy. It's about a whole new mindset. In a finite game, the goal is to win, right? To reach an endpoint. But in an infinite game, the goal is simply to keep playing, to adapt, to change, to evolve. If you aim to win, you eventually die. But if you aim to evolve, you can become infinite. And that brings our investigation to a close, but it leaves you with a question. I want you to look at your own organization, your own career. Are you chasing a finish line that's just going to lead to a void? Or are you learning the dance, embracing both creation and destruction, and playing a game that never, ever has to end? The choice is yours.